A very good evening, and thanks for clicking on to the Saturday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. For many people, it is the end of a work week. You can sit back, relax, and enjoy a glass of wine tonight while you watch some movie. For me, I'm about to hit the sack because it is the new work week for me. Another 5 days in the truck, and I will be getting up before midnight this evening to do day two of my work week. So, no, I'm not looking for sympathy. Just giving you a rough idea what I get up to out with videos. I did have a wedding reception yesterday, and it was very good. And today I did a run down to Larkhall with fish, and I'm about to, like I say, about to hit the sack because I'll be getting up in about 6 hours for another shift. So yeah, certainly we've seen the temperatures coming down over recent days, chilly days, cold nights, and now we are going to start to see the temperature coming back up once again. But in a few days from now, we're going to see the temperature coming back down once again. So it is a bit of a roller coaster, and spring is often a roller coaster, especially with the type of pattern that we've got at the moment. So all the heavy snowfall, the rain, sleet, snow mix that we've seen of recent days across the UK is now, for now anyway, more or less a distant memory. And even for parts of northern France, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, we're seeing the snow dissipate now. Notice here the focus of the snow now further south into parts of the Balkan region, Italy. Messy picture here. A little bit of snow up across the mountains of far northern Spain near the French border, and in the southeastern and eastern France and southern Germany, we're seeing snowfall here. So through the course of today, we've seen lighter winds. The temperature still fairly chilly, but feeling relatively pleasant, especially without any kind of wind or very, very slight breeze, that is. But that will give way to another cold night tonight. We could see temperatures -7, -8 Celsius in some of the cold nooks within the UK, and even with a little bit of lion snow over parts of the East Highlands, for example, we could see temperatures drop pretty low as well. But looking at the GFS, you can see here as we play through the loop, that area of high pressure, as well advertised in recent days here on the channel, drops south, will allow milder air to come over the top of that high, and we've got this frontal system that brings increased wind and rain, but most notably milder temperatures. We've got a little bit of a warm sector actually coming in, so we've got this kind of wedge of warmer air that's getting driven around the top of that area of high pressure. So yeah, we've got a chilly northwesterly wind, but milder all the while. And as we go into the early portion of the week, could even see temperatures back into the mid-teens, believe it or not. But as I play through the loop here, you can see here a system gathering across the northern half of the British Isles. Colder air coming back down from the north, so no surprise that we are seeing snow coming back onto the chart once again. And things may get a little bit interesting towards the middle portion of the week. Area of low pressure moves through to the north of that feature. We're back into Arctic air once again, so we could see some snow even to low levels once again. But as that feature pushes through, then we've got a secondary low that develops, as you can see here. All the while, we've got some pretty heavy snowfall, I think, possible to the north of the central belt, and especially over high ground, but not exclusively over high ground here. That system comes through, and as seen by the latest GFS run, that moves through and it actually opens the door to colder air coming back in. We may see some snow showers getting down in the southern portions of the UK once again. So we're almost back to square one. Not quite as cold, but almost back to square one in terms of an area of low pressure, kind of riding, west to east over the southern flank of the British Isles, northern France. High pressure to the west-northwest, and cold winds coming down from the north here. So it is very much an up and down scenario here as we go through the course of next week. And the ECMWF, by the way, is kind of buying into this same type of solution here. Looking at 850 millibar temperatures here, of course, we've got the cold easing We are going to see very cold air getting penetrated all the way into much of Spain and Portugal here. So while we start to see the area of high pressure pushing milder over and into the UK, we're actually seeing the cold over the continent getting forced southwestwards in response to that high toppling its way in. So we could see some of the coldest weather in Spain with this latest episode, so to speak, during the early portion of next week. All the while, as you can see here, 850 millibars, much milder air getting pushed in. Then, of course, once that milder air pushes through, it's getting pushed southwards with a resurgence of Arctic air from the north here, as you can see here. That system comes through. It's actually one followed by a secondary feature here, and then it's that secondary feature that actually opens the door to colder air once again. So as we see that secondary feature pushing across the British Isles here, what it actually does is it actually allows very mild air over the northwest of Africa to actually get pushed north, and we may have a very interesting scenario where we have Arctic air over the UK and actually subtropical air over Spain. Could be talking about temperatures pushing 30 degrees, by the way, towards the end of next week and into the weekend. So that's next weekend. And we could see some big temperature contrasts between the UK and Spain here. So look at this here. This is actually a week today. Long way off, I get that. But it's interesting what the models are showing. Look at the difference in the contrast. We've got -8 at 850 millibars over the northern half of Scotland, while we've got plus 16 over the southeastern portion of Spain. So we could be talking about temperatures very, very mild indeed, pushing up from Morocco. Very, very cold air coming down from the north, mid single figures, maybe even low single figures, near sub freezing wind chills. All the while we could be talking about 26 to 28 Celsius over southeastern portions of Iberia here. So an interesting scenario as we push towards the second half of the week and into next weekend here. And of course, with the colder air coming in with a mixture of low pressure as well, you expect to see snow developing here. And as I play it through the loop into particularly the middle portion of next week, the JFS is indicating a significant amount of snow over higher ground here. So, of course, you have to take this with a pinch of salt at this moment in time, still a long way off. But it's interesting at least what the models are sniffing out in terms of snow here as we go forward. Of course, low level snow, if we do get any, the chances are it's during the dark hours of night, and of course it will dissipate as quick as it arrives. Over high ground, for example, 250 meters above sea level, we could see significant accumulations with this type of scenario, but there's no guarantee that we get this type of scenario. It's just a model run that is starting to show a trend. We're seeing some cross-model agreement as well with this overall solution, and we'll keep an eye on this as we go forward here, but certainly very interesting nonetheless as we go forward here. Talking about Spain, while we could see much milder conditions developing, we also could be seeing, like I say, the coldest air of the season in recent times at least, over Iberia. So look at this here by tomorrow morning. So while we could be talking about temperatures -6 to -8 Celsius in parts of the UK, we could also equally be talking about temperatures widely away from coastal areas of the Atlantic and the Mediterranean. It dropped close, if not slightly below freezing. And some of the coldest spots within the Iberian Peninsula, for example, the Sierra Nevada mountains, we could be talking about temperatures close to double digits below freezing as well. So this is the Arctic air that we've seen getting forced south with response to the milder air coming into the British Isles over the next 24 hours or so here. And we could see some significant back and forth. Chilly days, very warm nights, or chilly nights, very warm days starting to develop here with very dry air in place. And as we push towards the end of the week, we could be talking about temperatures approaching 30 degrees here. So you can see this kind of wax and wane between the chill of nighttime and the warmth of daytime. Strong sun, of course, at this time of the year, and that will do a work on temperatures, that's for sure. So certainly a lot of interesting things still to come. We're not out of the woods yet with regards to snow and winter weather, So keep it right here on my YouTube channel, markhoganweather.com as well. I'll keep you up to date as best I can. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll try and be back again tomorrow with more. Bye for now.